Men are raised by their mothers and they see illness as a sign of weakness. They don't want to go running to the doctor with every little ache and pain. They think it's a badge of courage not to say anything, so they store it all up. They keep it within.
And a bit of embarrassment as well, isn't it?
Of course. But for what they need to know is that the doctors it's their bread and butter. They will see people with anything. They're never shocked. They're never going to laugh at the patient. And men need to realise that the doctor's there for them.
2 years ago, I had a time where I wasn't being a good father, a good husband, or a good person to be with, and it got to the point where I was chopping logs, and as I was putting the chainsaw down, I was thinking it'd be easier for me to just end it here.
That's bad.
But it got to the point. But the thing about it was, the reason I didn't do it is I had my mobile phone in my pocket, because I thought people then think I didn't try to call for help.
Right.
And that's the thing for me, is the reason I'm saying this now is because people don't look for help.
What makes you cry?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I think my children, when something particularly emotional happens at home. Occasionally a really good film. But I think we should be pretty open about it.
For myself and Clark, coming from a very macho sporting world, perhaps, it's very difficult for me. When I had a lot of injuries, I went through a lot of dark years, and I didn't want to talk about it because in my eyes, it was a sign of weakness. And I was showing I had a chink in my armoury, so not only was I not physically fit because I was injured, mentally I had a little bit of a weakness there.
Yes.
And I didn't want to give any rivals anything, and I didn't want my mum and dad and people to worry about me, but I wish I had spoken more.
You've had well-documented ups and downs.
Yeah.
How are you doing at the moment?
Very, very good, Piers. I'm in the right place. I'm ducking and diving. I'm not as busy as you, but not making as much money as you. But I'm ducking and diving, very, very happy. 3 years from today, and I'm in medication-free, so everything's
That's brilliant.
on
And for
point.
Rachel, for you as Frank's daughter, it can't have been easy to have seen your dad go through these ups and downs, to have to read about it and all the rest of it. Look at you and go, look at you, you scrawny so-and-so. You know, do people do that?
Yeah, it's just how I grew up as well, with a sort of really negative body image and stuff, and
Really? Why?
just because I would compare myself to other boys my age.
If you compare yourself to other bodies, surely you'd think, yeah, I'm all right, Jack.
Well, that's the thing with anxiety, you can't see it. So
Really?
yeah,
It's surprisingly prevalent in the fashion industry in particular.
Many of my profession are struggling, and I run a service for sick doctors, the General Practitioner Health Service, funded by NHS England, and we only started in January, and we've now seen nearly 900 GPs, some suffering from depression, burnout, trying to keep their practice afloat, but we're all human.
Particularly for men, particularly for strong men, it's so important to admit that you're not strong all the time.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and that's why I go in the book. I went and saw a guy called Jeremy Snape, and it was pretty... You know, it's
He's
the
a
ego
sports
sort of thing,
psychologist.
sports psychology. Yeah. It's pretty, you know, in an ego-filled world, in the cricket where alpha males are like this, it's very hard to say you look like you go and see someone. But I wanted to be better, and I've never really revealed that to anyone. But I spent a few days with Jeremy locked away in a hotel trying to be a better person and understand why things happen.
Most of my life I've suffered a bit from anxiety in the mornings. I don't know why. I wake up and I don't feel great. Rarely do I wake up feeling good. And I found the answer to is to get up and attack the day.
Yeah.
And usually within half an hour to an hour, that little cloud is gone, you know. But you have to get out of bed and go for it.
And I haven't cried at a movie, I don't know, for God knows how long. I watched it on a plane, and I watched it again on a bigger screen when I
What
got
do you
home.
think's on a plane makes you more likely to cry?
Well, you've had a few drinks, obviously, which doesn't help. But it was that film Lion about the little Indian boy who got separated from his parents. Have you seen that film?
No.
It's ridiculously emotional at the end.
I'll tell you,
So
the
even
last
I've
time
cried at movies. Nothing wrong with a good old weep at a movie.
But I'm good, yeah, and I have a very good fitness regime now, which I've never had in my whole life.
What do you
so
do?
I get up, I do biking, I do a thing called a 7-minute workout, which is a little app, and I do this Headspace meditation app. And by the time I've done that for about an hour in the morning, I feel like I can face life no matter what it brings. I find it really good.
I think I worked out that when you get told you're not good enough at an early age, you can either go two ways. You can sit there and sulk and go, you know, and go to
things that you shouldn't be doing, or you can get driven by it and be inspired by it.
I've attempted my own life on several occasions, but the thing is we're talking about disaster there. We don't want guys to get to disaster. This is what this is about. Let's open up before we get there.
It's okay not to be okay, I think, and that is a problem.
Definitely.
A lot of people don't talk because they think no one will understand, or from the outside, or my life looks rosy, or your life's going well. People think, what's he got a reason to be depressed about or down? But we all have our own demons. You need to talk.
The last time I really blubbed was actually when I was writing and giving a speech, because as health secretary, I've drawn on the fact that my sister had a very serious accident last year, and her life was saved by the NHS. And there I was on a train, actually writing a speech describing it and saying thank you to the people at Southmead Hospital in Bristol who saved her. And I went with her. It was incredibly charged. Emotionally charged. I went back with her to say thank you to the staff, and I was in absolute flood. So we should be very open, I think, about the highs and lows of life.
Absolutely right. Real men do cry, and it's also very good for you to do so.